Hello, Rick. Hello, Brent.
Good to see you, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And Marcel.
I'm glad we were able to get over this technological hiccup. I would like to also welcome everybody that joined today to listen to us talking a little bit and share our experience together with everybody. And definitely this is going to go on our YouTube channel. So for whoever is going to be watching the recorded version of this, it will be less funny, I think. It will be a little bit edited, but also welcome. Let me start by giving a small introduction about SFTec. So we are in the composite rebar business. In the composite business, we mainly focus on the rebar for the construction industry. We work with distributors like the gentleman you see on the screen to be able to tackle the Canadian market, because as a Canadian company ourselves, we do a lot of development and research in Canada and Montreal and with the University of Sherbrooke. We also at the same time manufacture in China to be able to reduce the cost too. So without working with strong distribution channels and working with them, collaborating with them, our success story would not have happened. So I guess I can start introducing everybody. So Alex is from Milltrade, based in Edmonton, Alberta. Brent is in Swift Current in Saskatchewan. I guess Alex's neighbor, not too far from each other. And then in my own backyard, Mr. Marcel Martin, he's in Beauceville, about a couple of hours, 3 hours away from Montreal. Knowing that Quebec is also a big market, AAB joined us with full force beginning of this year, even though they were doing a lot of work with us in the past years. So having almost worked with you for almost a year to a year and a half on average, I guess the purpose of this presentation or webinar is to share the experiences with the people watching, whether they are interested in becoming distributors in areas where we don't have distributors, or are interested to learn more about FRP and eventually becoming your own customers. So this is basically the purpose of this. I don't know how we can start this, so maybe maybe we can just ask each one of you to just introduce himself and his company. If you want to go with the alphabets, so maybe we can start with Alex.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Well, we're a family-owned business that started up in 1981. Our focus then and today remains about the same. It's the supply and the distribution of reinforcing products, primarily rebar, welded wire mesh, and most recently GFRP, the fiberglass rebar. For about 35 years, we catered strictly to lumber dealers, the building supply stores. But I guess we realized many contractors source their materials from specialty stores. So about 7 or 8 years ago, we decided to open our doors to this segment with a retail outlet. We offer fiberglass as a building solution, and it's helped us capture a bigger share in the concrete marketplace that we work in. The residential builders that are looking for cost savings and efficiencies have started switching over to fiberglass, especially in the use for driveway slabs. I guess our competitors, the Canadian manufacturers of GFRP, have been offering, I'm just sort of reading a few notes that I have, but have offered a polyester product for this non-structural type flat work. I can say that SFTec has rebounded and given us a great product, a polyresin bar that has been very well received. I think for structural applications, though, we still need to use the graded material. Just a comment, I guess over the next few years, we need to educate, I think, the end users about the difference between the poly and the vinyl-based GFRP. I think being transparent should help us accomplish this. Just a couple of comments about the first year, 2021 presented a few hurdles. Just imagine opening up a container and finding 22,000 pieces of fiberglass in there in 10-piece bundles. It took us 3 days to unload using 3 people. Today, the mill packages in 200-piece slings. They provide a lifting strap on each sling, and it allows for a very easy forklift unloading. It really takes about 3 hours. It's a huge improvement. So these kind of changes will really help advance sales and acceptance of GFRP. I think as this product gets used more and more, the benefits of GFRP will become very apparent. I can say SFTec is a great partner, and the potential for growth with this product is really just getting started.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
Thank
Brent,
you.
if you want to introduce your company and yourself.
Okay. My name is Brent Neudorf. Now, we are located in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, right on Trans-Canada. So I am very new. Our company is very new with this. We've only had a year and a little bit behind us for experience and for sales, but we've had nothing but a positive experience with SFTec. And so it's been a kind of a learning and an experience curve in getting the word out with GFRP. It is very new in our area, but we have had a really good response and uptake this past season. We've seen primarily the product going into flat work in our city and the rural area. We're a small city of only 16,000, but we have a large rural base around us, and people know each other. And our market is, a lot of it has been based on people knowing people and hearing what's been used, and they want to come and try it. And many repeat customers. And so we're thankful for that, and we see we don't see it anything changing on the downside this year. We expect that there will be increased activity based on everything we've seen so far. Challenges, I guess, as Alex has mentioned, some challenges I see is in educating people and providing them with the knowledge to consider this as a replacement to steel. We all know that steel has been used forever, and there are advantages to fiberglass. And what we need to do is provide an open up dialogue to these different markets, not only in non-structural, but also in structural applications. And I see several areas that can open up for me beyond my first year of sales, which has been mostly flat work. But I see there's an opportunity to open dialogue with precasters, which is all structural work, and also in buildings. And I work together with a very excellent concrete shop, Durcon Concrete, and so they have some exciting prospects that they're working on, which will involve GFRP. And so I guess I see the challenge is to bring information out to these different markets, and so have these people be aware that there are some options beyond steel, and let them be aware of the advantages of GFRP. So that's where I see us going this year. And like Alex said, we've had nothing but good experience working with SFTec, and so we fully expect that going forward.
Just a quick question, Brent, before I hand the mic to Marcel. I know that you started the business last year to distribute fiberglass material, but you did not mention the name of your company.
Okay, we are Westek Enterprise. Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah. No,
That's the name. That's the name of my company, and that's who we distribute through. Yeah.
okay. Perfect. Perfect. So Marcel, mic is yours. A small introduction about yourself and AAB, please.
Okay. First of all, you're gonna AAB. It's Acier d'Armature de Beauce. It's all in French, so a little bit French to start. We're a new company. We started like 7 years ago, but I'm in the industry since like more than 30 years now. So you know, I've always been in the reinforcing business. As we started, like everybody else, on regular steel. Here in Quebec, it's a little bit different because my point of view is I'm using the FRP for my home project. So that's the way we started with the SFTec. We did a couple jobs in Montreal. It went very good. So with the city of Montreal and all that stuff. And like I said, right now my side is I want to use and in most of my project I want to use GFRP. So and even Rick, you can say it goes very good, you know. So we got some local general contractors that they are very open-minded, and we do one of them. We do almost all this project in FRP. So even my business, my shop here, we did it in FRP too. So it's just showing the confidence, the product. So it kind of my home building is built like that. So and the opening in Quebec, it's very good for the engineers and all that stuff. So the precasters, we are. I got a rep on the road since like 3 weeks now, and he knows exactly what the precaster wants. So it's the response is very good, even better than we even thought. So for my part, like I said, it's even now with the regular rebar, the increase of the rebar, that it's kind of it's almost crazy. So the GFRP comes in a perfect timing, I think, and we're going to be able to have a year 2022 very we're going to sell a bunch of GFRP. So it's and it started, you know what I mean? It's not that what we're gonna do, what it's no, it's already started. So just to just a little thing. I hired my salesman like a month ago, Rick, and after 3 weeks, with the way it's going right now, it's his salary is paid for the next year, so that's not a problem. So just to show you how is the response. So it's kind of it's very encouraging.
He's giving me a lot of work also, just to put it out there. He's giving me a lot of work.
Oh yeah, but you need to work too. Yeah.
I'm not complaining, but
yeah, no, the thing is, no, you see that for my part here, it's like I said, the construction it's different in Quebec because with all the union and all that stuff. But I think we still, I think we're in very good shape, and it's going very well. So like all the engineers, they are all we are welcome on everywhere we go. We are very welcome, and the answer is there. So we got orders every day. So that's very good.
Good for you. Just out of, I actually want to ask you a couple of questions before I ask more general questions. But because you're a little bit particular, because you built with our bars. So could you tell us a little bit more about the project? How big was the building? What is it used for? Where did you use the bars? And what?
I think my building, just for an example, that's we got like 70 by 240 feet long building. So, and we use GFRP everywhere. You know, no, not just we use for the walls, the footings, the slab everywhere. So, and it was very easy to we had some regular walls, walls like 8-foot walls, so that's perfect. And like I said, it went. We did a building, a similar building last week nearby, and that was the same thing. You know, the guys just see we got delayed on the site and everything, so the excavation is not done, or so all that stuff. So the guy just prefab the mat everywhere, so it's very light, so they can just stack it on the site. So that's something you can do in a regular rebar. So that's when you're talking saving project time, labor, that's a big difference.
And did you use any steel in the project, or it was all fiberglass?
All fiberglass.
Not a single bar of steel.
No, but the thing is, the only thing is, because we got a big project in Rimouski, it's 125 units. That's a senior house. So we might need to use a rebar for oops or special bending, but the engineers are very open at that. That's not a problem. So we can both work both projects on the same project.
Okay, perfect. Now, I guess a question for everybody. A year ago, almost, I remember 2 years ago, actually, almost a year and a half ago, Brent started with us. He was the first to push the envelope and created, for us, from our perspective, a dominoes effect. So my question to, maybe we start with Brent, and everybody hopefully will answer. Like, what was your expectations when you first started? Where were your hesitations? How did you calculate your risks? Have the product met your expectations? Did not meet the expectations? Like, if you look back at that first order, that phase of talking to me, trying to order, trying to figure things out, what were you going through, and what were you hoping to achieve, and did you achieve that?
Well, I guess, and initially there's the risk of buying a container of bar and wondering how long is that going to take to sell, obviously. But as I mentioned before, I work doing work together with this concrete company, Duracon, and to me, the risk, I think, was mitigated by the fact that these guys, they do a lot of concrete and they have a lot of connections, and they help me, I guess, to get a little more confidence in putting it out there and just kicking the tires with let people kick the tires and see what happens. And because they're very well connected in the community, and so they have seen, they know the concrete business around here, and they know how much rebar, a lot of rebar gets used. So I guess that kind of dampened my risk factor, knowing that there's a lot of concrete activity going on. So with that, I guess I pulled the trigger and got a container, and it was not long after that to find out, it starts with one customer, and then 2, and then 5, and then it just went on throughout the summer, and then pretty soon we started ordering more containers. And so I was pleased with when I started looking in the books and finding out we had repeat customers, and that is what I wanted to see, is that people, once they know it was, come and use it, and they'll try it maybe on a small project first, but then they see what it's about and they like using it and they keep coming back. And so that has been a good positive for me.
What kind of applications those installers are using it for mainly? Is it slab on grade?
Initially these were all flat work, garage driveways and shop floors. Basically it's all flat work, and that was been my my sales for this past year. But as that word spreads around, we also are getting more inquiries in structural area. And so that is an area that I want to, I guess, pursue more actively, is opening up dialogue in the structural area when there's several different avenues there. It's just providing, letting these people know, because in our area, the FRP is generally pretty new. And so it's still certainly a growing a product that is growing in interest. It's not a mature product yet, so there's a lot of area for to increase in sales.
Yeah, especially it's a farming community. There's a little bit of problems with steel, right? Like, can you highlight a little bit the challenges that the farming community is having with working with steel, basically?
Well, we see more and more, and again, it's many contacts through this through Duracon, but they are with animal barns, and there is a very corrosive environment, and so more recently they're demanding fiberglass rebar, knowing what can happen and what their experience is with the corrosive environment in some of the animal barns. And so that is a perfect application for GFRP. And that there are, like I mentioned, there are some very exciting projects that they're working on right now that will be entirely GFRP, because the farms in these certain applications, they demand it. GFRP is the right product for those applications, and so that's a growing market for sure.
Alex, can you, without me repeating the questions, I guess?
Sure. I mentioned a little earlier, when we opened the door of the first container and saw 20,000 pieces in there and 10-piece bundles, it was a huge concern how this would get handled. But you know, we've got through that. We had a couple more containers come in that way, and now the packaging is so much better and easier. So the handling concerns of the packaging is, you know, it's just one of the hurdles you start with when you're starting with a new product. We've always had a good base of flatware contractors coming in here for rebar. And we had a competitor in this marketplace that did offer a GFRP. So they had already done a little bit of homework. And so our customers, the contractors, were already used to seeing some of this available. And I think as they took ours and compared it, and we'd like to think we have a better product. In fact, we know we have a better product. It was just a matter of them knowing that it was available here and then picking it up here. Everyone that used it came back with very positive feedback from standpoint of lightness, ease of handling in the workplace. So that was all very positive.
Compared to other GFRP,
pardon me?
Compared to other GFRP products, what was the feedback from the customers?
Well, it was a cleaner product to work with. Ours doesn't have the basalt coating that the other competitor has. And so it was just a cleaner product. It's a little heavier. It's a little bigger. It's a full 10M. So there were some things that they really liked using about it. And we've been doing this in steel with these folks for quite a few years. And like I said, the other reason it didn't hurt that steel prices were going up and have continued to go up, especially this year with all the problems in the world. So there's a pretty good gap now between GFRP and say a stick of 10M rebar. And of course, the builders are always looking at efficiencies. They're looking for something that does the job better, as well as something that's efficient to their pocketbook. And GFRP does that in both senses. So there's a number of reasons why this will just continue to take off, especially if the prices of steel continue to move upwards.
So where do you think this will go within, let's say, the next 5 years? Like, you've been in the business for 40 years, Alex, right? Like Milltrade, yes. As Milltrade. So you have a good knack of what's going to happen in the future. So where do you think the FRP will go? Where do you think your relationship with us will go within the next 5 years, 7 years?
Well, it'll only grow, Rick. We've had hundreds of conversations about how to skin the cat, and I feel that the best way is to get it out to as many people that can use it. And so, for us, a dealer network, a distributor network, where we have other stores selling the product in rural communities, in the big centers, the more that this product is available, more people will use it. We'll have to push and educate people the benefits, because it's not just a price benefit. There's other benefits. So this will only just grow. I'm not saying it will replace rebar in all applications, but certainly for a lot of the flat work that we're involved with, I see this as a great alternate.
Okay. Marcel, you want to share your experience? And I guess Marcel forgot to mention that he's also in Florida. So maybe you want to share a little bit. I know Florida is still a little bit new territory for you. You still didn't receive your order, but maybe it's an opportunity also for you to let people know you're in Florida. You never know who's going to be listening to this, and share your experience about how did you start in Quebec, and now how are you trying to replicate it? What in Florida, and what's the expectations? What were the expectations in Quebec, and all these things?
Okay. Like I said earlier, the first when I first touched that product, the FRP was when we approached you, because we have one of the competitors that we had a price and said and everything, and so we went to that water tank in Montreal, and I don't even know how we got to know SFTec, but it happened. So I don't even know where it started. But the thing
I called you, Marcel.
I don't remember.
I called you. I remember.
Okay, and you see, we start looking at your product, at your price list and everything, and even the customer was aware of that, that you were existing. So that's the city of Montreal. So and you know, it went by, and we saw a big, they saw a big difference in prices. That's we can't hide that, and it started all there. So after that, when we ordered the first container, I told you, at least, you know, I got the first building, I got my building to build. So anyway, we're gonna pass that container for sure. That's not a problem. So, and even there, see, I was listening to Alex, and Alex says, even Brent, you guys are, you're telling that you work with a slab, flat work and everything. See, here in Quebec, I did mines, and I'm gonna do other flat work. But the thing is, my point of view is I need to work some wall foundation and structural walls and everything. So it's kind of different way to see it. But I'm very not nervous with the if we take the G50. So it's what we're seeing, and with all the testing and everything, it's almost one-on-one on regular rebar. So we're not afraid of that. And we got close engineers working with us on other companies, and they're very, very comfortable with that. So that's why we're doing a lot of shop warehouse here in Beauce. It's we got a new company, a new fabricator, a new business every week. So we got buildings to build all over the place where we are. So that's why, you know, I'm very comfortable to kind of replace the regular rebar by G50. I don't have any problem with that. And Rick told about Florida. So I was in Florida 25 years ago. So I came back to the snow. So that's not. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but the thing is, you know, I'm here. I'm okay. And see, we're receiving Rick at the 20th of March next week. We're receiving the first container in Florida, because I still got some friends down there. So we're gonna get together and start a new business. So supplying. So we'll see from there. But the thing is, what we're hearing right now, like I said to Rick, I might need almost 10 containers just to start the show. So you know, if the materials get there, we're gonna set it. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And like I said, everybody is very, very, very open-minded in there. So actually in Florida, you know, that all the seawater and everything. So all the pools and everything, they're getting crazy just to know that we're even getting the stuff there. It's good, but the thing is, we're at a good price. You know what I mean? Because we know we know all the competitors. Some of them are very greedy. So it's kind of it's a very good news on there. So we'll see in a couple of weeks. We'll be able to talk again and we see what's going on. But it's very good.
Yeah, definitely. Like I guess it's a question again for anybody who wants to answer. Now we spoke about the butterflies and rainbows. We touched a little bit about the challenge of emptying the container, but we all know there's a little bit of also other challenges. But I don't want to talk about it. I would like you to share with people, apart from emptying the container, which is now kind of with trial and error, we learned how to pack it for you so you can empty it as fast as possibly humanly possible. So now we got that figured out. What are the other challenges with FRP? Maybe.
Rick, just a little thing with that color chart. For us, it's going to be very, very, very good. You know, it's going to be a lot easier to separate all the 10M, the 13M, the 15, and all that stuff. Even when we're going to get on site with the inspectors and everything, the engineers, we're gonna just give them the chart, the color chart, so it's gonna be able to see very, very fast where's the 25M, 20M, or all that stuff.
So now that you mentioned that, maybe I should explain it to what's the color chart. So Marcel decided to do every diameter size would be a different color, so that if there's apprentices on the job site or if the inspectors is there, they will right away look at it and they will know, for example, the blue is 15M, the yellow is 20M. So there will be less chances of error first, easier.
Even for my people in the shop, you know what I mean? So they're not have to think, you know, they got the chart, they got the sizes, and that's it very fast. Yeah.
So and so far, have you received the container with colors yet or not yet?
No, should be so now. Yeah, we ordered that February 1st, so we should be close, to receive it.
Perfect. That's good news. So yeah, he decided to go that route to make it a little bit easier for everybody, including inspectors or like engineers, like job site engineers and so on, to understand what's going on. So going back to the challenges, I know, Alex, you yourself had a couple of challenges with shipping and so on, and stock management and all these things. So maybe you can just highlight a little bit and how you managed to, again, overcome this kind of obstacle in the FRP division of your business.
Well, I think, Rick, you can take a lot of credit for helping us in that area. I think all of us needed to be pushed a little bit to taking positions. And we took a position on the 10 and the 15M, which is the two big movers for us, and just made sure we had a steady supply coming in. It's so much easier, believe me, to sell off a shelf of materials rather than promising something to customers only to have, in our case, the containers either stuck in Vancouver or in transit between Vancouver and Edmonton here, which sometimes took a few days. Sometimes it was a couple of weeks. It was, and there's still some containers, I think, still sitting on the coast that were shipped just the very first part of the year. So taking a position, I think, with inventory, in other words, scheduling orders in with the plant, will just make things a lot easier for everybody. It certainly has for us, I know that. So that would be one of the reasons, one of the obstacles that we've been able to overcome by just planning a little bit better how our sales would be. And that basically means getting our customers on board and giving us some of their projections as well. So that's helped for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The last year it was a little bit of a challenge because I believe you were not expecting that success with the FRP. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm talking on your behalf, and we ended up having a few periods of time where you didn't have stock, and it was a little bit stressful for both of us. You trying to get the product and us trying to actually fulfill the demand. So I hope this year we are already stocked up pretty well, and still we feel always that we're there's more to stock. We never feel that it's enough. So I hope this year we'll be able to learn from past years' experience, I guess, and try to bridge all the gaps and not ending up having gaps of no stock periods.
Well, you're correct, Rick. The buying patterns of our customers varied from a few hundred pieces for a small little project or job to several thousand pieces where a dealer said, I'd like to stick it on my shelf and sell it right beside some of the other reinforcing products they sell. So understanding and getting those people on board and then sort of maintaining that, I guess, watch on their sales so that we don't get caught flat-footed was fairly important to us. So that's how we sort of tackle that problem. And then, of course, with yourself, it certainly helped getting some sort of a guarantee as to where the freight concerns would be, because containers became short and then the price for container varied several $1,000s from one shipment to the next. So having some help in that, where you were able to get a flat rate or some rates posted that would there where we could work within on everything, made a big difference.
Yeah. Brent, I know you didn't have, for whatever reason, you were a little bit luckier than Alex, I guess. Your containers never got that delayed, and you kind of with the demand that you have in Swift Current, it was a little bit lesser than, of course, a more major city like Edmonton. Did you have any other challenges that you felt, whether we were able to help you with it or not, that you felt you want to try to overcome this coming year?
Well, one of the things I think that is important that you and I have talked about a price stability throughout the summer, and what you've managed to create for us is a agreement where we can sort of protect a price throughout the summer. And for my customers, then I have some customers where the price today, we can now say that we are confident that will be the same price 2 or 3 months into the summer as they're planning some of their projects. So I think that's going to be a really big help, the fact that you're able to work with, the two of us work together to be able to maintain this price stability, so that I can pass that on to the customer and they can plan more confidently in the future. Because we all know shipping costs have gone up, almost every shipment seems to be a different price, but I think having you sort of work with us to develop this stability, I see that as helping when I pass on pricing to the customer.
Marcel, you probably never have challenges with us. It was all flowers and butterflies, right?
Yeah. No, it's I don't have that many challenges, so I think Alex and Brent kind of said everything. I don't want to repeat, but it's always the same thing. The price stability, because you see that we're opening Florida, so it's we want to be very aggressive. We are very aggressive, so it's the same thing. See, when we're going to start 2023, if we need, the prices need to be close to what it is now, or you know what I mean. So I think we're all talking about the same thing, you know, because we're gonna see, we're gonna educate everybody to GFRP. So we want to keep them using that, you know, at the reasonable price, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's your part of the deal.
Talking about the challenges of FRP, what are the challenges of steel now? Because I know you're in the steel business, Alex is in the steel business, so maybe we can hear from you a little bit.
Yeah, but when I'm steel business is one thing, because we're not so small, no, we're not big. So right now, that's why I have the luxury of working with GFRP and regular steel. So I do my business on both sides. I don't have any problems, you know what I mean? But I don't want to base the price of GFRP on the steel either, you know what I mean? Because you see that last week, Alex can, I think he knows that Monday we had a raise of $200 a metric ton for steel. It's just insane. And they're telling us that it's gonna happen maybe once or two times till the next 6 months. So it's just incredible. And now just this morning they're saying that we might be short in steel. See the import and everything is going to be. We got the first boat, the first ships, and after that we don't know. So. This year it's another challenge, another story for regular rebar. But I think you know, if we're coming back in a normal market, I just don't want to have the GFRP you know, that the prices are like higher than the regular rebar. So we need to deal with that, and it's. I know that right now I don't think you can't answer me very good, because I don't think unless you know it. So I'm gonna say,
Marcel, you're absolutely right. The steel market, in the 40 years I've been in it, I've never seen what's happened in the last 2 weeks happen before. You know, and most of this is all created by what's gone on in Ukraine.
yeah.
I think it was, I'm not sure if it's common knowledge, but about 50% of the scrap metals used in Europe comes from Ukraine and Russia, and there's just nothing coming out of there right now. So European countries and steel mills are clamoring to try to find steel. So that means they're coming to the North American shores to fill up some of that steel so that they can continue rolling. So we've always been short in North America production here. I think it'll continue to be short, and so we'll see imports coming in. But I mean, the whole world is pressed with this problem over there, and so steel prices will continue to go up. People will be short. In the last 2 weeks, we've had multiple. We could have sold all of our steel out in no time, just because everybody's clamoring, looking for steel supplies early in this year. The season's barely getting started. So that will continue to be a problem. It's nice to know that SFTec, when you put an order in for 3 or 4 containers, they can get it out pretty quick for us. You know, we still have to get it across the ocean, but they can produce. And so I think that's quite a relief to know that at this particular point, with the 3 of us on board, we can pretty well get our supplies you know, reasonably quick. So that's good reassurance going forward.
Alex, I guess since you're talking, maybe we can continue on your momentum. If you were to give an advice for, I'm pretty sure there are some people now listening, or they will be listening also on the YouTube channel later on or whatever. So this is a combination of contractors and a combination of potential distributors as we're entering the US market. So what kind of advice would you give to the contractors and engineers, like the end users? And what kind of an advice would you give to potentially new distributors, let's say anywhere, like we still don't have anybody in Ontario, for example. So if there's someone listening from Ontario or from Colorado or from, I don't know, New York, what would you tell them? What's your advice if they are a contractor, and what's your advice if they were to sign up as distributors?
Well, I would tell them to use the product. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Using this product and seeing the benefits all across the board, I think will very quickly change a lot of people's minds that fiberglass might be inferior to steel. I happen to think in some cases it's better. So my advice would be to use it on the first project you get a chance where you can use it, and then go from there and take a position with it, because this product is here to stay. So if there's an area that's not being covered adequately by distributors, it's worthwhile taking a strong look and seeing what you might be able to fill that gap. For us here, we feel that we've paired up with the right manufacturer or the right company in Canada to move us forward with this, and so we're prepared to move more of our resources to that product line for sure.
So what's your experience with SFTec with us in particular? Is like you
well, it's positive, and you know, when you speak to Chen, the owner, you can see the passion is there to continually make this a better product, to make SFTec the best product out there. And with yourself, Rick, there's an emphasis on service. We've not taken big steps. We've taken a lot of small steps. And so for anybody new, certainly the first step is jumping on board. It's a difficult one because there's so many unknowns. And I think all three of us, Marcel and Brent, myself, would agree that that first step was kind of, we're jumping into the unknown. I'm very confident that we've all made the right decision to team up with your company and with this product line. And so I would just say, you know, jump in and see where it can take you.
If I might add also,
Yes, please.
don't be afraid to ask questions about the product, because there is a full range of specifications and whatever you need to make use of it in non-structural and structural. So all the information is available. Just don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah,
Good point.
definitely. Marcel, any input on this one?
But like just Brent told us, just, you know, don't be afraid to use it on structural. So, you know, with the right product, but like the G50, don't be afraid, because all the engineers are very open-minded. They want to work with new products. So especially the youngest one, I don't, you know, I'm not young, but you know what I mean, the youngest engineers are very open to work with new stuff, and it goes, it's very good, and they're receptive.
And what would you, Brent and Marcel, what would your advice be to a potential new distributor?
Like we already discussed, Rick, it's a lot of room. It's a lot of room for that product. So you know what I mean. So it's a lot of opening. It's a lot of opportunities. So you know, see, you talked just earlier about Ontario. So I'm gonna have my new rep starting in Ottawa next week.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I mean. We had an order from Halifax yesterday. So, and you know what I mean. It's everybody's. Not just because of the price, the regular steel, the price is going up, but the thing is that might help a little bit. So that's the time for us to jump in. Very good. It's a very good timing.
Okay.
Just to prove that the product is good and we can use it everywhere.
Perfect. I want to take also the opportunity to on this webinar to mention that as SFTec, we're also trying a different approach, because as you all mentioned, the shipping is been sometimes a challenge. Working with containers is not always easy. We also have sometimes trade wars between countries and so on, and knowing we produce in China sometimes is a challenge, especially with the US. So what we're trying to do and we're trying to achieve to meet the demand is we're trying to expand our manufacturing facility to North America. So we're hoping within the next, realistically speaking, maybe 12 months, 18 months, I don't know exactly. We're hoping to be more like faster in that, to establish this here in North America. So that will help us and help you all source the products even faster. An important thing also to mention is that all of you mentioned that we have the polyester and the G50. We also have it. We were able to sell G40, which is also a vinyl product, and the G60, which are part of our line. And we do sell other products like carbon sheets, bent bars, for precast shear connectors and so on. And the potential, I believe we're still scratching the surface. So the potential is really there. We're trying to work with you, and the way we look at you more as partners rather than distributors, and we try to bounce ideas with you so that when we take the next decision or the next step in our expansion, like the one I mentioned now, we bounce those ideas with you, and we take your opinions on things and so on. So I hope our relationship, the four of us, will continue to develop in the right direction always. And I really want to thank everybody for your time. We just to mention, everybody can go to sftec.ca or sftcanada.com. This is our website, our domain names. You will find a lot of information about our products. You will find information about our distributors, their contact information, Westek, Milltrade in Alberta, and AAB in Quebec. Westek is in Saskatchewan. We're also offering always, as everybody knows, maybe not the audience, we offer technical support. So if someone is interested, they want to do a comparison of, hey, I have a steel structure, what do I do? How do I convert it to FRP? We have a team that can help our distributors and our clients to tackle these problems. It's not a problem. It's a lot of the engineers are still new to this, and it's different codes, and it just makes it easier for them, like the onboarding for the engineers if there's technical support, and that we offer too. Again, one more time, Alex, Brent, Marcel, I really appreciate your time, and hope to see you soon again.